What's up everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So if you're watching this video and are watching it before the 12th of August, you already know that the Marvel Spider-Man game being released on PC is more than likely a big deal to you, or maybe it's not even a big deal. Now, my video is pretty much talking about how I think this is a big step, and I want to go ahead and explain myself from more of a personal perspective and perhaps even some things that may resonate with some of you here in the community. So for the longest time, there has been this drought of Spider-Man games available on PC. And if you guys have been watching my channel, my last video on Spider-Man, I was pretty much a little bit salty as to the $60 price tag because the game had been out for a long time. And yes, even though it's a remaster with some capabilities that are native to PC, I still did not necessarily think that this price point was the best price point. And if you ask me, based on all of that, I'm still not there where I think the game is worth $60 for those particular capabilities. But if you wanted to add my personal experience and some of what I'm going to share in this video, then I think I'm already at that point, and my decision is that I'm getting a copy of this game on PC. And it's not even for me. I'm going to get it for my kids because apparently I'm a huge Batman fan, but apparently my children have somehow been infected by this spider and they think that they're Spider-Man fans. And, you know, it is what it is. I was a little salty a little bit at first, thinking, like, what? I mean, but, you know, I've finally gotten over it and I finally accepted it that, you know, they have the choice to choose their superhero genre or specific heroes that they like. And so I think this is something that will benefit them for the most part. Now, another reason that I wanted to go ahead and kind of share this particular aspect of this video, talking about this being a big step, is that if you think about the Spider-Man availability on PC, you cannot find any Spider-Man game to purchase on PC right now. I mean, that is from any legal source. You probably have to go to the gray market and potentially pay about $500 for the Amazing Spider-Man on the Steam platform. This is crazy, and this is not necessarily something that many people could control. It's just the fact that the licenses at that time were held by Activision when they were using Beanox, or when Beanox was developing those superhero games for them. And those licenses have, I think, expired or run out. I don't know what the whole thing is about, but you just can't get them anymore. So if you didn't buy them then, you don't have them and can't have access to them. And that's very heartbreaking because my kids, being Spider-Man fans, I thought, you know, for their birthday present and, you know, just for some incentives, if they're being great and doing their schoolwork and all that, that I'd just collect a lot of the Spider-Man games for them. I tried to do so on PC, but it didn't necessarily work out. I could not find these games, so I found myself in a position where I had to go find a PlayStation 3 and then start to gather these games like Shattered Dimensions, Web of Shadows on the PlayStation. And those games, they cost me, you know, some inordinate amounts of money for games that were that old. Not like it, you know, broke bank, but it was shocking to pay almost $30 for Shattered Dimensions on the PlayStation 3 one time. And I was like, ouch. But it was worth it because at that time, if you were to find it on some gray market website to buy on the Steam platform, they were asking for like $400 or $500. And I was not giving any random person $400 or $500 for a game that was basically a decade old if you were to kind of chart all that stuff. And so thinking about that and thinking about how difficult it was to collect Spider-Man games and the unavailability of Spider-Man on PC platform, with the exception of the Marvel Spider-Man game coming on Friday, I think it's absolutely worth that $60 price tag. And I think this was probably one of the things that really did push me to get a copy. Now, in regard to getting 2 copies, I'll probably have to wait for a sale to maybe buy one for my own Steam account. But I think what Sony is doing in bringing their games to the PC has really opened more doors than I could imagine in possibly getting us a Spider-Man game at this point in time. Now, for those of you who are Spider-Man fans who are playing on the PC platform, you probably understand how valuable this is. Most people are going to be getting this, no doubt. Even people who are not Spider-Man fans will more than likely also be getting this game as well if they are exclusive to the PC platform, because it's not only available on Steam, it's also available on the Epic Games Store. And I think this really does provide even more options for people to be able to get the game. For those who've been on the console platform like myself, I mean, I've been playing the game on console. This is old footage that you're seeing. I played this in like 2019, I think in my 3rd playthrough. I think it's something that is very interesting for us as well, because even as I move to PC and I'm more of a hybrid gamer these days, I play on console and PC depending on how or whatever it is I want to do. I think it's also something of a benefit to see how another audience that has not necessarily gotten the opportunity to play this game is going to respond and maybe even accept the game at the time it launches. And I'm telling you, because the remastered version is the one that's even coming to PC, I almost want to say the wait has been worth it. But then again, they didn't necessarily have the opportunity to play as the first Spider-Man in this Spider-Man game. Now, that's crazy, isn't it? That this game has received so many iterations. The game literally changed the entire main character and the models and all of the above, added a lot more functionality, and then they released it and called it a remaster. I think this was kind of a true remaster if you were to kind of say, or categorize what a remaster is. And so I think that's also another factor that you can put in to say this is something that is really remarkable in regard to how they're releasing this game. Hopefully, other games that are exclusive to PlayStation continue to make their way to PC. We know that Sony has acquired a studio that is very good at porting PC games, so they need to probably get all the tools that they need, all the devs that they need, or a very good window on the support that they need anyways to keep porting these games, because they're games like Returnal, they're games like Ratchet and Clank that need to make their way to PC very fast. I think Spider-Man was literally the straw, the final, frontier of any game that would make its way to PC. And there are people who've invested so much money. There are people whose graphics cards cost 3 to 4 times my PlayStation 5. And so I think, it makes sense that Sony makes their way there to serve those audiences. So anyways, if you're getting the game and if you watch my last video, I'm sure you're probably surprised as to the change of heart, but it is what it is. Let me know in the comment section and let me know how you're looking forward to approaching the game. For some of you in the audience that want me to review the game, I don't know if I'll be able to do a good job in reviewing the whole game because of time constraints, but I will try my best nonetheless. Even though I'm going to be playing on my kid's account, I'm going to have him give me a save file to maybe play the first few hours of the game and just kind of talk about some of the things that I've seen in terms of graphics. I may do some benchmarks. Let's just keep an eye out for that. So depending on how my schedule is, I'll try my best to answer as many questions as I possibly can, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon. Peace out.